Welcome to Dutch Girl, Myrtle Beach. Crime has a ripple effect. It affects the entire community, not just the victim and the criminal. Crime destabilizes communities. It causes fear and mistrust. It often has a clear connection to ongoing tensions or mistrust present within the community and in the community's connection to the outside world. Crime is a sensitive topic because of the egregious abuse of human rights and liberties that it entails. Approaching crime and victims with sensitivity and with a willingness to tell the truth regardless of circumstances is what can allow healing to begin for communities impacted by traumatic events. These are the rules for this chat discussion. Do not harass, threaten, or do anything to another chatter or panel guest that is unwanted. This means do not attack their character, race, heritage. Do not dox. If you disagree with someone, respond to the subject, not the person. There is no place on this channel where hate speech will be tolerated. Please do not cause derision in the chat and disrupt the flow of chat in this live stream. This live stream is for adults only. That means 18 and over. Do not impersonate another chatter or a moderator on this channel. If you are caught, you will be permanently banned from this channel. Anyone coming in and harassing, doxing, or threatening my panel guest will be immediately banned from this channel. Anyone caught bashing the Dutch Girl Myrtle Beach moderators will be immediately timed out and banned from this channel. Engage with empathy in this live stream. Treat all other chat participants respectfully, even when you disagree. A heated argument does not lead to constructive discussion. Report harmful behavior. If a user is insulting others, making violent threats, or violating the chat rules, report them to a moderator rather than engaging in direct confrontation. The moderators will handle it. Stick to the facts. Use credible sources like news articles, police reports, and court documents. The goal is to inform, not to spread misinformation. Avoid speculation, especially in unsolved cases. Spreading unfounded theories can be highly disrespectful to victims and their families. It can also distract from ongoing investigations. Do not glorify criminals or violence. This includes refraining from expressing romantic or admiring sentiments towards perpetrators. Such glorification diminishes the victims and the severity of the crime. Focus on the social impact. Discussions can be more productive if they focus on systemic issues related to a case, such as failures in the criminal justice system or broader societal problems. My name is Dutchess, and this is Dutch Girl Myrtle Beach. I'm from South Carolina. I'm a podcaster. I talk about true crime, corruption going on in South Carolina. I also make missing flyers for missing people all around the United States. I appreciate you being here. I hope you'll consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, hit that notification bell if you want to receive future updates on my live streams and videos. Make sure you got your notepads and your pens and your tinfoil hats. Buckle up, the Dutch bus is getting ready to leave the station.
Oh, Father, tell me, do we get what we deserve? Oh, we get what we deserve. And where down we go, oh, 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 where down we go, oh, 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 so where down we go, way down we go. Oh, you let your feet run wild. Time has come as we all go down. Yeah, but for the fall. So way down we go, way down we go.
Hey, everybody. My name is Dutchess, and this is where we talk about true crime, cooking, missing cases, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Thank you all so much for joining me, and thank you, Nonsense, for sending people over. Tonight, we are going to be recapping Tyler Doyle's case. We are on part 4. If you have not caught up with this case, there is a playlist on my YouTube page that you can go to. That is the Tyler Doyle Missing Case playlist. We have already had 3 live streams in recapping this case, so you don't want to miss that. We've had exclusive drops on content that has never been talked about or seen before. So if you are new to this case, you're definitely going to want to check that out. And I just want to welcome everybody in. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time on this Tuesday evening to talk about missing Tyler Doyle, who is a duck hunter that lives just 30 minutes down the road from me. His family are very good friends of mine, and AJ Always Something is my special guest. Thank you for being here, AJ, as we walk through Tyler's case and, recap all of these facts and discuss why these are critical to Tyler's case, since Tyler's case is still open and the investigation is ongoing.
Hey, everybody. Dutchess, I'm glad to be here. Much to go through.
Yes, we do have a lot to talk about. So I want to go over, I did gift out some memberships. So welcome, guys, to the Dutch Bus. We have Sasha McLean as a new member. Welcome, Sasha. We appreciate you. Revival upgraded her membership. I so appreciate you, Revival. We have Stitching with the Sisterlies. Thank you so much for joining us. And Miss Southpaw 65 gifted 5 memberships. If you received 5 memberships, please make sure that you thank Miss Southpaw 65. Thank you so much. And of course, I did gift out my 10 memberships. So if you received a membership to the Dutch Bus, welcome, 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 everybody. We're so glad to have you.
Seatbelts, everyone! Double Dutch bus coming down the street.
And Shauna M., thank you for being a member for 13 months. Shauna says, thank you for everything you do. Well, thank you, Shauna, for being a member. I really appreciate it. Peekaboo, we've had 1 year together. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a mod. I appreciate all that you do. And Canvas and Crime, welcome to the membership. I love your avatar. That is so cute. Thank you so very much. There's a lot of people in chat. I probably will not be able to say hey to everybody, but I do appreciate all of my moderators, my members. Hey, Peekaboo, and I see Earthy in chat. Who else have we got here? I see Tara DeBoom. Kenna, thank you for being a member for a month. It's so good to see you. Hey, Mercedes girl. Hey, Callie. Thank y'all so much for being here. I heard Kramit dropped a song for me and the Duke, and I'm so excited to hear it. I'm so glad. Thank you for joining us. Kramit says, hey, mods in chat, my first time here. Not sure if I'm worthy of the celebrity. I see Peekaboo. Anyways, I'll be listening and fixing me something to eat. Well, thank you for joining us, Kramit. I appreciate you being here. And remember, Nightbot says, if you're enjoying this live, smack, tickle, or punch that like button. It is a free way to support this channel. So I do appreciate you guys joining me. We have a lot to go over. I do want to give Revival a shout out. Thank you, Revival, for making that short, because apparently there are some creators on this app, one named BJ, who doesn't believe that I'm still covering Tyler's case. AJ, how long have we been working on this recap? We actually did part 1 before my father passed away, and then I had to take a little bit of and we've been going at it. I don't go live every day because, well, I have a real life.
I have a life. I mean,
we can't just be live on YouTube every day. But we try to go live about cases and things that are critical and close to me here in South Carolina. And of course, AJ has been a staple in this case. And the links are in the description of this video if you are interested in the things that we're going to be talking about. Also, you will find in the description of this video, and I'm going to share my screen so you guys can actually take a look at it, because I think it's really important to look at that when you go. And let me make sure I enlarge this because I want you guys to be able to see this. When you go over to the live stream here, you can go to the description and it will actually tell you what we're going to be discussing. And I do drop links for things that we're going to be talking about. Of course, a lot of our information comes directly from our FOIA request and from documents that has been things that have been provided by the family, photos, videos, things that the family has asked us to share about Tyler's case. And if you want to get the recap, here you can see Tyler Doyle's playlist. The link is in the description. And also there is a Facebook group that AJ and I are admins of. It's called Discovering the Truth Facebook group for Tyler Doyle. Make sure you answer all of the questions. The link to the Facebook group is here in the description of this video. And it does tell you, listen, use common sense when you're here in the chat. Respect recognizes respect. The mods will handle any chat issues. All of my music is linked here. There are copyright license for all the music that I use on my live streams. And of course, if you need to email me, my email is in the description, as well as Tyler's Beacon Law petition, which is mandated waterproof personal locator beacons for game hunters and fishermen in the event of an accident. If they go missing, we do encourage people to go over and please read the beacon law and please sign it. You don't have to donate money, but if you could share it out on your social media platform, that would be wonderful. And of course, there's the membership link. So anytime we have a live stream, you know, if you want to know exactly what we're going to be talking about, you can actually find that in the description of the video. And if I need to add any extra links after the live, I usually try to add those in there because I want you guys to have reference about things that we are discussing, because the facts matter. We try not to speculate. If it's our opinion, we'll say it's our opinion, but we try to stick to facts. We try to stick to court documents. We stick to the FOIA, but we also want to, you know, give you the truth about the things that are happening, because there are circumstances where families are not getting the help that they need and deserve in helping to find their missing loved one. And unfortunately, here in South Carolina, where my husband and I live and pay taxes, this is a reoccurring situation. And AJ, we've talked about that. Scott's case. We've talked about that with Tyler's case. It's happened in the Murdaugh case. We've seen a host of cases unfolding here in the state of South Carolina where these cases are not getting looked at and these families are not getting justice. And those are the things that we talk about here on this channel. So I just appreciate you guys taking the time to spend with me and AJ so that we can educate you guys about what's going on in this case and give you the truth. The 5 Canes, thank you for the $9.99. Thank you for what you do. Hashtag Tyler Doyle, hashtag 38. Thank you, the 5 Canes. I appreciate that. So to get started tonight, I think the first thing that I really want to focus in on is where we left off, which we were talking about the phone records. But before we jump right into these elongated phone records, you know, we looked at Christian Holden's phone records, and now we're going to look at what actual digital forensics look like. But what we also touched on was we touched on the DNR and things that was said about the DNR. And that brought me to a video that I wanted to start out with because AJ, I want to get your reaction to what Godowns had to say in this particular video that I'm going to
If this is
pull
what
up.
I think it is, you're going to get me mad before we even start.
Well, I mean, listen, and AJ, do you want me to play the warning for your language?
You probably should. You probably should, because
I'm
I
gonna
got to
go
say,
ahead and
this one right here set me off.
I know, I get it. I get it. So for AJ's purposes, we have to play this content warning.
Warning. This episode contains content that may be disturbing or sensitive to listeners. Discretion is advised.
All right, now that we've given AJ's warning, we can jump right into it. So let me make this full screen so that you guys can see it better. This is a video that, well, yes, it burns me up. This is from April the 6th, yes, of 2023 by Claire Purnell. And this is at this point, it had been more than 2 months since 23-year-old Tyler Doyle had disappeared in his John boat as it sank outside the Little River Jetty, which is just a couple miles down the waterway from my house. While he and his, well, they call him a friend. He really wasn't a friend. He was barely an acquaintance. Were duck hunting in the North Jetties off of North Myrtle Beach. And he went missing January the 26th of 2023. And the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, which is actually wildlife officers, were investigating his disappearance. And we have tried to get a missing persons report for him. We tried to get him added into NamUs, all of the things, and the SCDNR did not want to help this family. They told the family they needed to go to church and get over it because Tyler drowned and he was dead. And that is not
holding a baby that Lakeland lost.
Exactly.
As if that's the place to stay.
Right. And that's not what happened at all. So let me refresh this screen here. Here we go. So I want to get this video pulled up. I'm going to enlarge it. And I want you guys to listen a little bit by what the South Carolina DNR actually has to say about this. And you just let me know, AJ, when you want me to stop it, because I know that you were going to have a few choice things.
Before we even start that, do you have, because I'm looking for it right now, because I didn't know this video was going to be played. Do you have the screenshot that shows the flights for that day? If not, I'll keep looking for it. Because that's what ended up, it wasn't the video itself until I went and pulled up the flights, which you can do. You can pull up the flight data for that particular organization and see what they went up for, when they went up. That's what set me off.
I think we have it, but I don't think it was in the FOIA. I think that was something that we had separately.
Yeah, I'll keep looking for it.
Okay, yeah, because, you know, the thing with the DNR is they told us they spent over $100,000 in gas and aviation looking for Tyler. But according to the expenses that we pulled, there was only one flight that actually went up to look for Tyler, and it wasn't the South Carolina DNR. It was actually the Coast Guard, and nobody has to pay them to do that. They searched for 42 hours for Tyler Doyle, and they called it and said they weren't going to search any longer than 42 hours. There was actually no expense report by the South Carolina DNR for where their money had went. Remember?
Yeah.
We tried to get that expense report, and they said they did not track expenses.
Which blows my damn mind. Make that make sense. And I'm going to show the email because I have it right in front of me. How do you claim to news broadcast publicly to anybody watching that you spent $100,000, and yet when I ask you for a expense report, you tell me you don't track expenses. Make that shit make sense.
Yes, we did go directly to the South Carolina DNR. We tried to FOIA the expenses because if you are a government agency, that is supposed to be public knowledge. You should be able to access the expenses because this is taxpayer funded. And they told us they do not track expenses in the state of South Carolina.
I'm sending you the screenshot of the reply from them right now to your Facebook Messenger. You might want to show this because this is ridiculous.
Okay. You're sending it now?
Yeah, I'm sending it right this second.
Okay. All right. Let me go over here and grab that, and then we'll play this video.
Okay, hold on. Let me upload. Oh, my God. This got me so mad. And you should have it. Because I know I'm not crazy. I know what it says. You should have it in your box.
Okay, here we go. All right, let me get back over here and I'm going to share this.
Just so people know, like, we really tried to corroborate what they were saying.
Yeah, here we go. Freedom of Information request on DNR spending for TylerDoyle. We really did this. This was Monday, August 28th of 2023. And you can see here where we reached out. They sent it to me, Dutchess. I attempted to see if I could get an expense report for the thousands of dollars South Carolina DNR said they spent, according to Caroline Pinckney, who works with the FOIA office. South Carolina DNR did not receive any outside funds nor disperse any funds for the search and rescue for TylerDoyle. I said, what the hell? So South Carolina DNR just worked for the hell of it and ate the food the Doyles provided. This just gets dumber by the second. Have a great day, Rosie. And then this is where Miss Rosie sent something in for the FOIA for the DNR. And of course, on the 10th of August, 2023, Miss Rosie got a response that says, thank you for your request for information. After inquiring with the Law Enforcement Division, they have informed me they do not have any means to track expenses.
Ridiculous. And I just sent you another one.
To track expenses for search and rescue efforts.
So
DNR.
And that's what they sent to you. And now I just sent you another one of what they sent to me.
So DNR did not receive any outside funds nor disperse any funds for the search and rescue for TylerDoyle. Let me know if I may be of any further assistance in this matter. This is coming directly from the FOIA people. And see, Sasha says they would have to have some type of accounting for budget purposes. Right, well, Sasha?
You would think. And I just sent you the one they sent me, and it matches exactly to what they said to you.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, here we go. This is where AJ sent her own trying to get information from Caroline Pinckney, and she gets the same response. Again, thank you for your request for information. After inquiring with the Law Enforcement Division, they have informed me that they do not have any means to track expenses for search and rescue efforts. The South Carolina DNR did not receive any outside funds nor disperse any funds for the search and rescue of TylerDoyle. Please let me know if I may be of any further assistance in this matter. Sincerely, Caroline. Now make it make sense. She is the privacy officer for the Department of Natural Resources, the FOIA officer, and the paralegal to the chief counsel.
Mm-hmm.
And we have reached out to the governor. Trust and believe.
I wrote a 7-page report to the oversight committee.
Yes. So I'm telling y'all, I mean, People don't want to necessarily believe all the things that are going on, but I'm telling you, it's.
And I think that's an important statement, Dutchess, because even though, like, yeah, we have the Facebook group. I know that everybody knows, Dutchess has been dealing with her family situation. I have to deal with things. But even if we're not that every single minute posting something, believe that we are working behind the scenes on this, because Tyler is a situation that I will never let his name die, ever.
Same here. The Doyles are my personal family friends. They live just down the road from me. I talk to them a lot. And we're going to see this through. We're going to see this through. And that's just the way it's going to be.
Absolutely.
Because this family deserves answers, and they have been done wrong by this agency. And that is why SLED took over. And it's been quite some time since SLED has had this case, and we're still waiting to hear back from them. Not sure what the holdup is and what they're waiting to find out. But Kristen76, welcome to the Dutch Bus Transit Pass. We're so glad to have you. Thank you so much. So we're going to play this video, and I want you guys to hear Officer Godowns, who is over our territory, speak on this in this video. And this video is from WBTW News. The link is in the description of this video.
TylerDoyle. He went missing more than 2 months ago while duck hunting on a John boat in the North Myrtle Beach area.
News 13's Claire Purnell has been following this story since the first week and comes to us this morning with more information on SCDNR search efforts. Claire?
Melissa and Aaron, I spoke to a lieutenant with SCDNR who works in Region 4, which is all the coastal counties here in South Carolina. And he says this is not the first time he has seen a search like this, where they know where the boat sunk, but only some are recovered while others are not. Lieutenant Andrew Godowns says he, the captain, and one other lieutenant oversee most of what goes on in Region 4, including supervising case investigations, communications with family members, and setting up search efforts.
Typically on one like this, we do daylight till dark. Our guys are showing up.
I knew you were going to say that.
Liar. Liar. Liar.
Listen, the reason I know this is because Tyler launched his boat from the boat landing that is in my backyard. And I was out there pretty much every day, watching from my house every day. If I was not down there, I have met these officers. I have seen them sitting on their butt out there eating the Doyle's food. The Doyles would have breakfast. The Doyles would bring their grill. They would cook lunch out there. They would stay there all day long while people would be out there searching for Tyler, waiting for the DNR to do something.
And let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all why I'm saying liar so fast. Because Shay, y'all know that's Tyler's aunt, was in the meeting, and she looked at a different DNR officer that showed up to SLED meeting and asked him, how many people have ever went missing out of there? And he said, more than I can count. And she said, how many have you not found? And he said, Tyler Doyle. So make it make sense.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. Let me go back just a little bit.
We do daylight till dark. Our guys are showing up, getting boats ready, and then starting until sunset when when you can hardly see any. So you're talking about those many days, 12-hour shifts. You try to break them down sometimes, have one crew run 6 hours, another crew run 6 hours.
Lieutenant Godowns says their search team is very grateful to the many organizations like the U.S. Coast Guard, the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office, and North Carolina Marine Patrol for stepping up to help in the search for Doyle. Godowns estimates.
And let me remind you that when all of this went down, the DNR nor law enforcement came to the scene. Cito pulled in Tyler's boat. Christian Holden was brought to an ambulance, and he left in his car with his girlfriend, and his friend picked up his gun and his waders and took it away from the scene before law enforcement. They didn't even show up. Law enforcement did not even come to the scene.
Nope. And I swear, every time I hear this video, I hear something else that just really pisses me off. Because if they had really been there from daylight until dark, then Brad would not have been waiting on them when they told him not to dive, that they were sending a damn diver. Make it make sense.
They have forensic divers on Brad's team, which, by the way, is Wings of Hope Search and Rescue. They're out of Wisconsin. And Brad came down. He stayed here for 4 or 5 weeks trying to conduct a search with his sonar. They had canines that actually hit on the jetty that picked up a scent.
Dive for it.
And they actually had a sonar image that they could have dived on in order to, find answers for the Doyles. But Ronnie Floyd, who was over this investigation with South Carolina DNR, told him that he didn't have permission to dive on it. And if he did, he would be in trouble with the law. And that Ronnie was going to bring his own dive team. And how many days did they wait? How many days?
For that dive.
How many days, though? 3 days. And then he said, oh, well, the water's too rough. And, well, it's not there anymore.
Piece of shit, I swear to God.
And then in the end, Brad turned over the sonar image that he had shown the family. Yes, on an SD card. And then Ronnie Floyd, he lost the SD card and claims that Brad never gave it to him. But don't worry, because at the end of part 1, I played you a never heard before phone call that the family asked me to release between Ronnie Floyd and Brad with Wings of Hope. And it proves that Ronnie Floyd said maybe he put it in his secret hiding place.
You know what, that reminds me. So I got a message, and I wanted to make this clear. Somebody messaged me and asked me why that call was not released. And I think that we need to explain it really quick. At the time, that Brad was still doing diving and searching for people, and was still, people from different counties and organizations still reached out to him. And it would hinder his relationship with being, other counties and stuff to be able to do this. Now he's not. The reason we were finally able to release that is because he is retired and he is no longer doing searches, so it cannot affect him. So I just wanted to make that clear.
And plus, we also wanted to put it into SLED's hands also. Yeah. And once Ronnie Floyd was removed off the case and Brad was no longer doing search and rescue, listen, not everything is for the internet. There's a time and a place for everything. And out of respect for the investigation and for Brad with Wings of Hope, that is the reason why we did not disclose that information. But law enforcement has had this in their hands for over 2.5 years. I mean, they came and they interviewed me. They asked me for all the information that I had. And of course, I gave them everything that I had. So,
and I respected you when you said you didn't want it released until, we had that clearance. And I respected that. And I just hope everybody else can respect that too. Because that's how things are supposed to be done.
I just felt like it was the right thing to do, for Tyler's investigation. But the truth is the truth. And the truth will always come out.
Right.
And this family has been done wrong. And, I was looking through the internet just the other day, and I was seeing all of these psychic people saying, that Tyler was alive and he had run away. And then there was people that was saying, well, Tyler was in Mexico drinking margaritas and that he was having an affair, or that he was running away from murder charges. And none of that was true. These are things that hurt investigations, because you never want someone to stop looking for a person that's missing because you have somebody out here spreading speculation and lies. None of that was true.
Absolutely.
And of course, but then you had the DNR just telling the family, and I know this because I was there in person with my husband when Ronnie Floyd looked at the family and said, well, you know what happened to Tyler. Y'all just need to go to church and get over it, because Tyler drowned. Did
There
that not
was
happen,
so
AJ?
much, yes, absolutely. There was so much going around, even when I first came into this. And that's why I had bumped heads. I mean, I literally had to make a post and apologize to Dutchess once I realized we were on the same page. Like, there was just so much fake stuff going around. And I felt so bad because even I kind of was like, what in the world? And kind of jumped on that bandwagon for a minute. But it didn't take long. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is crazy, especially showing the pictures, the fake made up pictures and stuff. And that's why I said, let me just go on and start my own group and we'll just go from there. And that's when me and Dutchess got it. We realized we're both looking for the same thing.
Yeah, and I respect that you came to me and we were able to put our differences aside, and then we realized, like, actually we were on the same side the whole time. It's just that when people get in your ear and start saying all these things, like they try to pit people against each other, and I think that made them even madder because then we ended up joining forces.
You come for Dutchess and you're coming for me, and that's not what you want to do.
Oh,
make no mistake about it.
Okay, well, y'all heard that. AJ.
AJ
is a very, very good friend, and I'm just glad that we have been able to work this case together to help the family, to get out the factual information, and to keep Tyler's name out there. Because, listen, if you see something, say something. Like, there's so many people that go missing, and then people just forget. But these cases that happen in my own backyard, I'll never forget that. This is a case that I'm never going to forget, or that I'm ever going to stop talking about. This family deserves justice, because something in my gut feeling, something happened that day, and it's not the story that we're all being told. Because why does a person that is out there duck hunting on a jetty where you already know you can't have a firearm because that's a $500 fine, how convenient is it that you let this person off on the jetty? Tyler stays in the boat. So you mean to tell me he makes it 3 miles down the jetty from my house at the boat landing all the way to the jetty, boat's working top notch. They get out there, let Christian Holden off onto the jetty with his firearm, and that's illegal, okay? And then all of a sudden, Tyler starts having boat trouble, and now nobody can find him.
I was talking to Shay the other night. You know what I think? I don't think that Christian Holden got off with his own gun. That was a $3,000 Benelli that Tyler had. And with all of the storming that y'all have had, and all, how it pushes everything up, I get that it might not push up every single item, but I believe that something should have came up by now. I think that Tyler knew he wasn't going to be shooting from the boat. I think that Christian Holden used Tyler's gun, it being a $3,000 gun, and that's why he sent that gun away.
Well, I mean, how do you rectify getting rescued off of a jetty that you can walk off of, and having your friend, you don't call 911 first, you call your friend to come pick up the waiters and the gun before you even call 911 to get your friend help.
And that other friend that you called is already waiting in the water based on your own statements and timeline.
Exactly. And that's why I tell you guys, if you have not been here for Tyler's case, please do go back and watch part 1, 2, and 3 of the recap, because there is a lot of very important information, and we have walked this case back from the very start, starting in part 1. And so you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning, but you need to watch part 1, 2, and 3. Because I promise you, when you put all of these things together and you get to this live, your head will be spinning. Because when you see the part about his wife, that a week before Tyler went missing, he found out that his wife was having an affair. I have got the text messages from his Facebook that his family gave AJ access to, that was archived between him and his wife, and he told her to pack her things and get out. He didn't care if she was pregnant with his kid. She was cheating on him, and he wanted her to get out. That was January the 17th of 2023. And on January the 26th, Tyler went missing and he's never been found. Can two things be happening at the same time? Can you have a cheating wife and go missing and it not be related? Maybe. But could it be related? Maybe. You know why we don't know the answer? Because South Carolina Department of Natural Resources are not missing person investigators, and they did not dutifully investigate this case properly, and they just tried to say that Tyler drowned and shoved it under some papers, and they did not do a thorough investigation. They did not take evidence. They did not get the digital forensics. They did not do their job. That is why South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, what we call SLED, that is equivalent to, let's say, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. That is like a state level form of like the FBI. That is what SLED is in our state. And now they have Tyler's case, and they are combing over this entire case because Ronnie Floyd got removed from this case because of the things that he did not do. And after multiple letters, multiple complaints from the family, denying them justice, denying Danny Jewell, a local fisherman, a fourth-generation fisherman who was my neighbor, from dragging his fish nets to bring Tyler home just a couple of days after this happened. They threatened him with a $10,000 fine, threatened to revoke his license, threatened all of these things if he went out there and dragged his nets. They were more worried about him taking shrimp home than bringing Tyler home. Make it make sense. A person's life will always outweigh the shrimp in the ocean, but that's why you don't let a wildlife officer investigate a missing persons case. We tried to get it turned over to North Myrtle Beach Police. We tried to get Horry County Police. We tried to get Horry County Sheriff's Office. Ronnie Floyd didn't even know how to get TylerDoyle into NamUs. I had to walk him through it. I had to give all the information to Shay. We called NamUs. We talked to the lady. We explained the situation. He didn't even know that he had to collect the DNA.
That's what I was just about to say. They called him, and I have that recording. They called him, and he said, well, I thought that, and he named the lady's name. He said, I thought they were going to do that. He had absolutely no clue that it was his responsibility to set that up and link it together.
Absolutely. And listen, I'm no detective. I am not law enforcement, but I'm no dummy either. Okay. I've been watching investigations in true crime. I have friends that are actually in law enforcement. I have friends that are attorneys. Okay. And I have discussed this case with multiple people. I have discussed this case with people that are in high political places. None of this makes sense to them either. This is why we had to have help. It took 3 months to finally force Ronnie Floyd's hand to make a missing persons report for TylerDoyle because he refused. This is why it's critical, if you are not caught up on this case, to watch part 1, 2, and 3, because it will blow your mind with the receipts that we have about all of these things that are happening in this case. And yes, Autumn Renee, the Mike Williams case in Florida, oh, the similarities, it's unreal. When I first heard about this case, listen, I've watched enough Dateline to know the Mike Williams case, it was like a huge red flag blowing in the wind. I was like, how can this be so similar? And if you guys know anything about the Mike Williams case, if you don't, I encourage you to go look up there's videos on YouTube about it. That's another missing duck hunter who went out hunting with his best friend. But it turns out the best friend and the wife were having an affair, and he wasn't missing in the lake at all. His body was buried somewhere else, and it took years for them to get the answers. But his mother never wanted them to give up, and they finally figured the case out, and both of them went to jail. So we have to keep our head on a swivel, because at this point, because this investigation was not carried out thoroughly by the DNR, we have to wait on SLED to do their job, because a lot of evidence and a lot of things, well, that time has passed. It's not like we can go out there and have a search and rescue team to go see if Tyler's out there. I mean, what exactly are they going to find now? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the ocean. That water is rough out there. It's no joke. Like, you can literally drown in the riptide. The jetty is where the ocean comes into the intercoastal waterway. And it is very, very, and listen, when you go back and watch those parts, you'll see me and Shay on a jet ski riding out into the jetty to look at that day. So we're going to watch the rest of this video, and then I have a video of a drone flying over the jetty, and I want to show you exactly what it looks like out there. So let's play the rest of this video.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars were spent on this specific search.
This is a part of our regimen of what we do to serve South Carolina now. You know, when you start taking in the cost of fuel for airplanes and helicopters.
Hold on. Fuel for airplanes and helicopters. You don't say, Andrew Godowns.
Don't get me started.
They did not put up one airplane or helicopter, because trust me, I was out here. I live here, y'all. I live here. I spoke to the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard was the only plane in the air searching for Tyler Doyle for 42 hours. That's it. That's it. That's all. The family can attest to that. AJ, you know good and well I'm telling the truth. This man right here irritates me. He just said they spent $100,000. Let me rewind that.
We have no expense report.
Man hours. I mean, you're talking about a lot of money, but
on the specific search.
Wait a second. You should have let it go just a second longer.
Well, it's going to play. I was going to let it play through this time. I wanted them to hear the $100,000 again.
Yeah. It's so weird to me what he says.
This is a part of our regimen of what we do to serve South Carolina now. You know, when you start taking in the cost of fuel for airplanes and helicopters, and then man hours, and I mean, you're talking about a lot of money, but you know, that's not what's important to us on something like this.
So then why the fuck did he bring, I mean, oh my God.
It's okay. Listen, I say the same thing.
If it's not important, why mention it? What was the purpose?
Yeah, that was the whole point of me going back up here, because I wanted you guys to hear him say.
Broadcast and take the few minutes that you get allotted to bring up something that do not freaking matter.
And how do you say you spent $100,000 but you didn't do any accounting? We've got the proof that we asked for the expenses, and apparently there are none.
Tell me you don't know where taxpayers' dollars are going without telling me you don't know where they're going.
Don't get me started. Oh my gosh. Trust me, I see it every time I have to pay my house taxes, my car taxes, my motorcycle taxes. They're getting part of that money, y'all, but they do not have any accounting. And listen, Caroline Pinckney said there was no money that was taken in or given out for the search of Tyler Doyle. How are you going to tell me there's $100,000 put in for the search of Tyler Doyle? But then if we jump over here, hang on, let me see if I still got this up. But we jump over here to this Freedom of Information Act. Let me see. I got to go over here and make sure I'm sharing the right. Let me share. I got to share my whole screen to do this. Hang on. To be able to jump back and forth, I got to share my entire screen. God, this makes me so mad. Y'all have to excuse me. I'm extremely passionate about this case. Here you've got Caroline Pinckney saying they do not have any means to track expenses. Right here. Let me enlarge that. To track any expenses for search and rescue efforts. They did not receive any outside funds nor disperse any funds for search and rescue for Tyler Doyle. This is from the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Okay, now let me go back over here. I want you to listen again to what Godowns says.
Sheriff's Office and North Carolina Marine Patrol for stepping up to help in the search for Doyle. Godowns estimates hundreds of thousands of dollars were...
What did she say? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. I rest my case. And this isn't the only case that has went like that. I linked some other stories in the description if you want to go and take a look at those. We've got, if you guys remember Mallory Beach, put a 1 in the chat if you remember Mallory Beach and Murdoch. Remember the boating accident and Mallory Beach lost her life? Well, guess who Murdoch went to that was obstructing justice, where his son was intoxicated after Mallory Beach was thrown from the boat and they didn't find her body for a week. Yep, that'd be DNR. That'd be the DNR. You can go under history lesson about South Carolina DNR, and I have put in several links about quite a few things that I think that you guys will find very interesting. Because I'm telling you, this is not the first time that some of this stuff has went down. And I want to, let me see if I uploaded these. I'm going to see if I can find this one thing. Let me see what I've got here. Remember that letter that I was telling you about that the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources actually wrote because of the ongoing? I'm going to send some of those to you, and then I'm going to pull it up on Facebook because I do want to make sure that I share it. So I'm going to send it over there to you, and then I'm going to pull it up because I want you guys to see this as well. So I'm going to go pick it up from Messenger. Ah, here we go. Because I think, you know, case in point, we have to show people for who they are, right? So this letter right here is a prime example from 2014. The Honorable Kirkman Finley III, the House Agricultural, Natural Resources, and Environmental Affairs Committee, South Carolina House of Representatives in Columbia. This is from Alvin Taylor, who was the director of the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources at that time. And he received a letter, and he's letting this guy know about it. As you can see, it is on South Carolina DNR letterhead. So when we go over here, this was a letter that was written about the DNR to Governor Haley, because that was our governor at the time. Okay. And this letter says, this letter is concerning a very serious DNR issue that evidently you are not aware of. Otherwise, this situation would not have been allowed to continue for as long and as freely as it has been. Colonel Chisholm Frampton has repetitively been allowed to sully the reputation, morale, and credibility of the Department of Natural Resources and its officers. Every respectable officer who has ever worked with him or for him knows him to be the most corrupt, incompetent person to wear the uniform. He has made a career taking credit for others' work and blaming others for his mistakes. Everyone who interacts with Frampton knows he is an embarrassment to the department. Everyone, that is, except for Director Alvin Taylor. There is a strong evidence and agreement that Taylor has spent his entire career covering for Frampton, i.e., making excuses for him, promoting him, and truth be known, lying for him. As Frampton's last arrest for beating his wife proved that Taylor will stop at nothing to protect him, which is why there was never a legitimate investigation. To say anything negative about Frampton, no matter how true, means instant retaliation from Taylor, as he absolutely refuses to see or hear the truth. Hence, the reason no one feels safe to say anything. The cost is too high when a career is at stake. Now, this first paragraph should tell you everything you need to know about what it means to be in law enforcement or any type of career that's government operated in this state. Because the cost is too high, because if you say something, there's a good chance you're going to lose your job. Now, here's some examples that these people listed. Frampton drove his state vehicle to Florida with his wife and son in it, and while he was there, he was involved in an accident, charged and found at fault. The state totaled his vehicle. Taylor covered for him. Frampton was arrested, charged with hitting his wife. Taylor immediately, with the help of his friends and Terry McGee, the HR director and chief cover-up conspirator, immediately began providing coverage for him and overseeing a sham of internal investigation. SLED was never asked to investigate or a polygraph done, even though Frampton has forced other officers to take it, because we all know what the outcome of that would have been. We have had officers forced to resign or retire for far less. Not so for Frampton. He gets special treatment. The attorney for Frampton, Craig Jones, responsible to help ensure this case never saw the light of day, was hired by DNR as a new full-time staff attorney. How's that for a quid pro quo and conflict of interest? All under the watchful and knowing eye of Taylor, Frampton, and Terry McGee. And this goes on. I mean, you can't make this up. Here's payoffs over here. Look, as we all know, Frampton is a closet racist. Ask any black officer who has worked for him, especially those who have resigned, were fired, or retired. When they learned of a pending discrimination lawsuit from a fired black officer, they immediately went into defense mode. They suddenly decided they needed a new black field major, so they redrew region lines to ensure that their hand-picked favorite minority would be eligible, set up a sham of interview panels, and promoted him over a captain with 30 years of service and over 15 years as captain. But new major had only been captain little over a year and had less than 15 years of service with the DNR. But they knew he would go with the flow and it would provide the cover they needed. Now we learn about payoffs. Terry McGee, who a little over 2 years ago was making $75,000, had her salary mysteriously raised after Taylor became the director and Frampton was promoted to $86,000. And now it's been raised again to $99,000 annually. And by the way, this was in 2014. It's probably more than that now. So she got a $25,000 raise, y'all, in 2 years with no added duties, no extra personnel to supervise. Her workload is definitely increased, though, trying to hide the scandals from board members and legislators, all under the watchful eye of Taylor and Frampton. Frampton got a salary increase to over $100,000 a year and has done nothing to deserve it. And this letter was written right here by active and retired DNR employees and concerned voters. And they sent it to the Senate team, the Senate chair, Danny Verdon. They sent it to Luke Rankin, who at that time was the chair Senate Ethics Committee. They sent it to the Senate Fish and Game Forestry members. They sent it to the Speaker of the House, Bobby Harrell, the Chair House Ethics Committee, the Chair House Judiciary, the Chair House Ways and Means, the House Ag and Natural Resource members, all the DNR board members, the Law Enforcement Advisory Board members, and they sent it to all of these newspapers right here. And let me tell you, South Carolina was on fire after this went down, because everybody was running and skirting and trying to clean up all of their messes. And this right here is exactly what AJ and I have been screaming from the top of our lungs. You know who was working for DNR and who knew all about this right here? Who is it, AJ? Who knew all about that? Ronnie Floyd.
And Godowns.
And Godowns. And Godowns.
But that's what they do. That's their little thing. Their whole and there's a reason why this is important. Because it comes back to a full lead circle.
Oh, thank you, Cram. Now, sometimes I get a little turned up because this does make me irritated. So if I start yelling, it's not at y'all. It's just, I get aggravated. Hey, Chico, it's good to see you. I'm sure you were very interested in that letter reading that I just did, because this is what I'm dealing with in my state, and it's very sad. But trust and believe, I have a whole file on these people, and it's so much deeper than this. These are the people that we're dealing with, okay? It's not good. And this is why I have serious concerns about what the DNR is doing, because the corruption is very real. Follow the money, and where the money should have went and disappeared. I agree, Crafty Girl. Because they're always going to try to cover their own tracks. But do they really give a damn about the missing people here? Well, it goes to show that they don't even care about their own employees, much less about helping to find these missing people. And that's the conclusion that we're at today. So Sasha says, is it dangerous for you ladies? I'm going to keep using my voice because I'm a tax-paying citizen. And I have to use my voice to speak up, because my tax money goes to pay their salaries.
Wait, can we put that up there? Because I don't see it. I don't even think about that, really. I mean,
I don't either.
I live in Arizona. Here's the thing. I've had people ask me, like, why Arizona versus South Carolina and the differences. But here's the thing. I'm not stupid. I mean, Arizona, you look suspicious if you're not carrying a weapon. I'm not dumb. There's a lot of desert. There's a lot of places people can be buried, and there's corruption in every state. So do I think about that? Yeah, I mean, my brother has told me I better not ever step foot in South Carolina, because they probably want to murk me. But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, it is what it is.
Somebody's got to stand up for what's right, and that's what we do over here on this channel. We talk about missing cases. We talk about crime that goes on in the Carolinas and things that are happening, but we also talk a lot about corruption, because we have a lot of that in my state, unfortunately. And a lot of families are not getting answers because of people not wanting to come forward about the things that are happening. And justice isn't getting carried out.
And God forbid if you sue somebody, because then they go turn around and sue your attorney. Like, it's crazy. I said it today. It must be something in y'all's water.
It's something is going on. I don't know. Shoot, it's crazy. So now we're going to jump back into Tyler's records, and where we left off last time. Actually, I'll tell you what, I need to pull up because I do want to make sure. Let me go over here to my Gmail because I do want to make sure that I pull up a copy of Christians again, because I want you guys to make sure that, and listen, I encourage you to go watch all the parts, but definitely part 3, because we did talk about Christian's phone records last time, and I want to make sure that I show you what let me share my screen real quick. I got to share my whole screen so I can flip-flop back and forth. Now, when we talked on part 3 the last time, this is what a non-official digital forensics phone record looks like. When the family wanted phone records from Tyler and from Christian Holden, Ronnie Floyd did not go to the phone company and get actual digital forensics. He just called Christian Holden on the phone and said, hey, I need a copy of your phone log. And you know what Christian Holden did? Well, he went and edited his own phone log. In fact, look here.
Goes into Excel, which is what this is.
Yep. And look, he's got names misspelled. Here's Josh Howard with 2 A's. Here, Josh Howard starts with a J. Here, he's got Coast Guard spelled Gaurd. It goes on down to, I mean, you can see that he made this. Here's Coast Guard with a letter C. And he actually edited all of this himself.
And turn 911. And
He sure did.
Again.
Uh-oh, you're echoing again?
Yeah, we figured it out last time. Remember.
I think it's because it's when I'm sharing from not Chrome. But on this one particularly, this is where this is where Christian messed up. He edited in his own 911 call that he made that actually never happened. And that's where he messed up, was because we got the actual phone records and because we've got the CAD report. And that CAD report shows that he didn't call 911 at that time. So if you want to see all of those details, you can go back to part 3 and we show you the CAD report and we show you the exact time that 911 was called. And there was not one call at the time when Christian Holden puts in his phone records that he called 911. You know why? Because Christian Holden lied. Now, why would you have to lie about when you called 911? Make it make sense, right?
Why did he lie about calling Tyler back?
Well, that's a good point. He also said, yeah, he told all kinds of little fairy tales. But when it came down to needing for the family to talk to him, to take them back out there where Tyler went down in his boat, his daddy got on the phone and said, my son is not talking to you and he is not coming out there. And he even told Brad with Wings of Hope that he didn't think it would be beneficial for him to come out there and help search for Tyler. And he never showed up one damn day to look for Tyler. How you gonna call yourself somebody's friend and you didn't even come out there and help look for him and you were there when he went down in that boat? That's a hard pill for me to swallow. I can't imagine being that shallow. And he's not cooperating, by the way, with law enforcement. And that is why SLED is on board. Had Ronnie Floyd done his job from the get-go, we might not be here today. But here we are. So now we have the official phone records for Tyler. Tell me where you want me to start, AJ.
I'm echoing. So I've been trying not to speak.
I don't know why you are still echoing. Hang on. Let me try something here different. Maybe it's the way I'm sharing. Hang on. Beep, 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 beep. Hold, please. All right. See if you're echoing now.
Am I echoing now? No, that's good. Okay.
I think it must be the way that I'm sharing my screen. That must have something to do with it.
This is where I get excited because let me tell y'all something. Other than the fact that it made me so angry, the way that Miss Linda had to have that conversation with him, and she begged Ronnie Floyd to where she was in tears, and it's heartbreaking to hear because I care so much about Miss Linda, and to hear her literally. This is a woman who runs multiple of her own companies, who is very self-sufficient. Like, she literally had to lower it down to where it was like an actual begging for him to get the phone records. And it was she was asking for Christian Holden's phone records. And then it was like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. Ronnie Floyd drove out to Miss Linda's, which is what, a good half-hour drive, Dutchess?
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes from my house.
Just to drop off phone records that she didn't ask for, because these are Tyler's. But it did help us. It ended up helping us. It ended up being a good thing. So I don't know if y'all remember, but I explained last time that Miss Linda sat in her car the night that Tyler went missing. And on the Life 360, it shows you when one of the people who is in your circle's phone is going to die. And she literally sat there and watched Tyler's phone die. Now, I know for a fact that Tyler had an iPhone 11, and I don't think that this was on Miss Linda's mind or Shay's, because Shay was with her. But you can drop an iPhone in the water. Of course, it's, built that way to where it's not going to instantly kill it. It's not back in the old days where you drop your phone and it's like, okay, you're done. But to have it sit there at the bottom of the ocean until, let's see, he went missing around 4 p.m. and it was about 3:30 in the morning when it showed the battery dying. I personally do not see that as possible, which tells me Tyler's phone wasn't in that water. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
I believe that it's been out there, but I believe that it's tucked in those rocks somewhere because I believe Christian Holden had that phone. Now, let me be clear. That part right there is my sole opinion. I just do not believe that the phone could have stayed on that many hours underwater.
Now, where would you like for me to start with these phone records? Any
think
particular place?
We can click on the first one and let me just see. We're going to have to switch that around, like bring that around because it shows upside down.
I'm not sure if I can switch this on here.
You want me to do it on mine?
Yeah, if you can do it on yours, I don't know if I'll be able to. Well, I can try to download it, but
yeah, then you'll have to download it to be able to turn it.
Yeah, that's going to probably take me off the StreamYard. If you can try to get this one, I think this is the only one that might be turned sideways.
Oh no, I think all of them are. But you know what? Actually, Dutchess, if we can go to the third one, because this is another thing that I want people to understand. Right here. Let me be ultimately clear about, not only did Ronnie Floyd write Todd Brown's statement for him, but he decided that he was going to create this. This is not from AT&T. He created this and slipped it in with the AT&T forensic records. Who does that? What was the point of that? Why not just give the records as they came to you? And here's how I know that this was done for a fact. Because there is a number that is provided on the instruction sheet of this packet. And I literally called them and I asked them to verify how many pages they sent over. And they did. And I have that call recorded and I will find it. And you can tell by how crooked it is. Like, what was the point of him doing that? There's no AT&T logo. There's absolutely nothing on there. But all the other pages. Weird. Because he did that. It makes no sense. What was the point of it?
So he got them to send him a query and then he just sticks it in there?
So they sent him, he subpoenaed the records for Tyler, not for Christian, which was the ones we wanted. And they sent him a certain amount of pages. And then he goes and takes information from those pages and types this up and sticks it in there to make it seem like it was a part of the packet. And it absolutely was not.
That
He
is
even
very
says run
interesting.
date, time, and all that. And you know what? That's another reason why I know that it's absolutely not, because you're going to see that all of these times, it even says on the AT&T instruction sheet, they go by UTC time, which is actually kind of weird, but they do. And so their time is not going to be, we're not going to see it say 4:50 or 4:51 p.m. because there's a difference in UTC
Right.
time. But if you look at the top of this, he puts it as normal time. He is such a freaking joke. He is a complete joke.
Oh my gosh.
And the only thing that I needed, and any of you can even do it, the only thing that I needed to get them to verify how many pages actually came was the matter ID, which is printed on all pages.
Yeah, I think the rest of these, I think you're right. It is sideways, isn't it?
Okay, I'll do it right now.
Yeah, because there's tons of pages of this. Yeah, they're all sideways.
Okay, so I don't know, do I just share my screen, or how do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you can just share your screen.
Okay.
I appreciate y'all being here while we walk back these phone records. Again, this is part 4 of Recapping the Truth with Tyler Doyle, and we are to Tyler's phone records.
Okay. So
let me enlarge this so we can all get a better look at it. I don't know if you're able to zoom in on it. That would be great.
Let me see how. Okay, first I got to.
Now, tell us exactly what we're going to be looking here on this historical precision location information. And by the way, this is what digital forensics actually looks like. This is what Ronnie Floyd should have gotten from Christian Holden for his phone. But y'all saw the records that I showed from Christian Holden, which wasn't anything like this. You know why? Because Christian Holden made that up himself. And that's even published in news articles. Like the news even put out pictures of Christian's phone records because they also FOIA'd this. And guess what? That's what Ronnie Floyd put in the FOIA, that those were official records from Christian Holden. And Ronnie Floyd is with the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. He is the one that was removed from the case when the case was handed over to SLED, which is South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, the real law enforcement, the real investigators.
And let me just explain something to you guys. I know that it's been some years. I kind of feel bad. I've tried and I've started on it but when I tell you there's like, I think 78 pages, maybe more, but I am trying to go and do the latitude, longitude, location and get it all together. It's just taken a while because again, I have other stuff. I work full time and it's a lot. It's a lot. And anybody else that is willing or has the free time that wants to try to do that, I am more than willing to share the documents with you and we can go from there because I mean, for the most part, we've went over the main, because this is location data right here. This is longitude, latitude of everywhere that Tyler Doyle's phone was. And this is his number right here that ends in the 0444.
And let's not forget that 2 weeks, was it 2 weeks after Tyler went missing? There was a call that.
Yes.
That went out from Tyler's phone.
Yeah, there was. So this one just shows like the location. They send it to you in sections. So here's the precision location information and it's just showing, and we have matched up somewhat, but keep in mind that just because Tyler's phone was somewhere doesn't mean that Tyler was there. I can take your phone and go off somewhere and leave you and it's going to ping from wherever I take your phone.
Exactly. So what information do we need to focus in on with all of these records? Is there anything specific that we need to look at?
Well, we can go to the phone calls.
Chico says, so was the phone ever pinged near the water?
The phone did ping near the water.
Yes.
Absolutely.
In fact, I tracked a couple of the pings to Sunset Beach, to a house that supposedly is where Tyler's phone last pinged. And of course, I went there to see if I could find it, and I didn't find anything.
Here
Just a bunch of
is
sand dunes.
This is with cell locations. Some of them are going to have it, some of them won't. The thing about these phone records is it starts from the minute you press send before it ever connects, it starts taking data. You don't have to wait for them to answer or any of that. And one thing that I do want to point out is the number you're not going to see incoming, and I can share the link with these documents, is going to be Lakeland's. So I don't know who, like, what anybody else's marriage like, but if somebody calls me and tells me that my husband is possibly drowning, I'm going to think first, okay, maybe they have it wrong, and I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to be blowing his phone up. She didn't do that. Not at all.
Nope. We looked through the records and she didn't call him.
Nope.
Don't you think that's unusual? You find out your husband's missing and you don't even try to call his phone?
Yeah, I think a whole lot with her is unusual, though. So
exactly.
She's
Chico
weird.
said, so someone took that phone near the water to make it seem like he drowned and then took the phone with them.
In my personal opinion, yes.
It's possible, Chico. But we have to be able to prove that. It's all about the evidence. And that's why this case is so very important, because had this been investigated thoroughly from jump, well, we wouldn't be here today. But Ronnie Floyd just wanted to say that Tyler drowned and he wanted to sweep that case under the rug. But do I think it's a coincidence that he caught Lakeland cheating just a week before he went missing? I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. I mean, can you have two separate possibilities happening at the same time and not be related? Well, it's possible. But I have to keep an open mind, because it's the things that you don't know. And these are all things that the family has spoken in depth with to SLED. And that's why they have been conducting this investigation for 2 years. And we're
you know somebody else that don't ever call Tyler? Christian Holden.
Lindsay said, to make sure I'm following correctly, both Christian Holden and Ronnie Floyd with DNR made up phone records.
Absolutely.
Well,
not an opinion. It's an absolute fact. Absolutely. And I said it. So tell
there
them
you go.
1,000% they made up phone records. 1,000%.
Sasha says, aren't these supposed to be put through a program like Celebrate?
Celebrate is a very good program, and I'm so shocked that she knows about that because most people don't. Celebrate is amazing, but that's not how AT&T is going to give them under a subpoena. Now, Ronnie Floyd, I'm sure, did use a program. I'm not sure if he used Celebrate because he included maps and everything else, which absolutely make no sense because we know Tyler's boat never went around the South Jetty from the Life 360. But with that said, Celebrate would be what I would put them through.
Yeah. Chico says it's possible, but the vids I saw of her, I get bad juju vibes. That's why I encourage you. If you want to know more about Lakeland and you want to see those messages and the Ring doorbell cam, was that on part 2 or part 3?
Part 3. Or no,
the
last one that we did. So that was
the last one we did. So if you guys want to know more about his wife, who has now moved into her second relationship, she moved into her first relationship just a couple of weeks after Tyler went missing.
No. A couple of days. I know you
Well,
like to give her padding, but I don't. A couple of days having 7 and 8 hour phone conversations, literally.
well, that's true. With another man that she continued on with to
That
date.
Miss Linda had to pull out of her car at the boat landing while everybody else was out in the water looking for her husband. I have no respect for her. I'm not going to hold my tongue.
Also, when I put on the prayer vigil out here at the boat landing that I organized with the Search and Rescue and North Myrtle Beach Police Department, Lakeland was out there with this guy, and they were at the vigil in the back of the boat landing, sitting on the bed of a truck holding hands.
Yep.
And people were coming up to me in the middle of the vigil while I'm trying to pull things together. We had a DJ playing music. We had food. We had the pastor there. We had the TV stations there. I'm just trying to coordinate and pull everything together. And I have these people coming up to me saying, you know, Tyler's wife is over here with another man holding his hand. And I'm thinking to myself, that can't be. Oh, but it was true.
This can't be either. Let me show y'all this. I'm going to try to make this a little bigger because I think this is what some people have been waiting on. When did Tyler go missing again? I mean, I know, but I just want to hear you repeat it, Dutchess.
January the 26th of 2023.
So how was an 11-second phone call? That means somebody answered and hung up, made from his phone. And
Can you enlarge it for us?
If you look up what does terminating number mean, it's backwards on AT&T bills because terminating number is actually the number that you're calling to. So you see this right here? This is the original number. This is the number that was called 2/3/2023 after Tyler went missing. And yeah, I see that it's only 11 seconds, but that's perfect enough time for somebody to hang up and realize, oh shit, I shouldn't have answered this phone, and hang back up. Now make it make sense because he went missing on the 26th.
February the 3rd, and Tyler gets an 11-second phone call and it's answered.
Yep.
Make it make sense.
No. That's a call being made from Tyler's phone.
Oh, from Tyler's phone.
Yeah. And they probably realized, like, oh shit, I shouldn't use this phone. Because that's what I'm saying. The terminating number, people usually think that that's the number calling out, and it's not. That is the number being called. So that means that call came from his phone to somebody else's phone, and then he realized, like, oh shit, I shouldn't be using this phone, and hung up real fast.
Right.
It's all right there. And anybody that wants to doubt these records, I will gladly forward you the original emails that include them.
Okay, and you can stop sharing your screen if you're done with that particular thing, because I think that's very important.
That's exactly what I wanted people to see.
Yeah. So he went missing on the 26th of January, but on 2/3, a call was made from his phone number. How is that possible?
Can I give my opinion on that? I think
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. I think the phone itself might have been right there on the rocks dying, but I think the SIM card was taken out for whatever reason. I think that's why the Life 360 stopped working when it did. I think a whole lot of things.
Now, I do want to go over here for a second because I want to go back to
Say that one more time.
To the FOIA. I want to go back over here to the FOIA real quick. Hang on one second. Is it this one? No, it's not that one.
Yes, Stitching. There was a call made from his phone.
And did you ever figure out the other Ring doorbell camera that you wanted us to see while I was thinking about it? Because remember last time we were talking about it and you couldn't remember which one it was?
What was it about? You have to refresh my memory. Ring doorbell.
I don't know. It was one of the things that you wanted us to.
I think we did. That was the one that you played that where she said, "I know we agreed we would hide it."
Yeah,
Oh,
but I
no, no,
thought that.
no, you're talking about the one that yeah, we did. Remember, it was showing that they blocked Miss Linda. That's why I had
Oh,
to get
yes.
off you
Yes,
last
yes,
time
yes,
because,
yes.
I mean,
Okay, we did
basically,
get
they
that one.
blocked her to where she couldn't back up. She couldn't do anything. She had to sit there and watch them just take everything, even down to stuff that, duck decoys that he first shot with his daddy at like age 6. And then she
Yeah.
gets to the damn storage unit and tells his friends, "Do you guys want any of this stuff?" With his shoes and his clothes. I can't stand this damn girl. Oh my God.
I know. It's terrible. Now,
Oh,
this is North Star Search and Rescue. This is the people with the search dogs that came with Wings of Hope. And here is their individual field report that was done on 12/12/23. They arrived on the 6th. They departed on the 9th. They prepared the report on the 12th. They searched for 83.75 hours while they were here. This talks about that they used a land cadaver dog right here. They searched intercoastal waterways, Atlantic Ocean with calm waters. Temps ranged from the mid 40s to mid 60s with winds at 7 to 10 miles per hour with fair skies. And the narrative says, I arrived on scene at the boat launch across from Captain Archie's, which my house, that's right beside of my house. Captain Archie's is actually across the water from my house. At 2200 Little River Neck Road, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, I was briefed by Brad Smith with Wings of Hope on our missing person, TylerDoyle, who was described as a 22-year-old Caucasian male who is 5 feet 10 inches tall, 220 pounds, with light brown hair and blue eyes. He was wearing a green beanie, tan pants, hip waders, a white t-shirt, and a fleece-lined hoodie. On January the 26th, Tyler was out hunting in a John boat when he began to have motor problems and his boat began taking on water. He was last seen in the Little River Jetties in North Myrtle Beach area where the intercoastal waterway meets the Atlantic Ocean. The sunken John boat was recovered and all life jackets were accounted for. Except they weren't. Because there was one life jacket that Tyler was supposed to have on, and that life jacket was never found, and that was the one Tyler was supposed to be wearing. But if you're wearing a life jacket, what's going to happen, guys? You're going to be floating.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and that's what I've tried to explain to people. Even if the waves come up and drown you as far as not being able to breathe, your body is still going to be above water. You're still going to float unless somehow you didn't put the life jacket on, which leads me to why is Christian Holden lying? Because the lady asked him, did he have a life jacket on? She goes, he said, yes, ma'am. He put it on, was his exact words.
And you can see here, this is the waterway coming down right here from my house. Following this pink line, this would have been where they came down in their boat. Now you see these two lines right here on either side of the pink. That is the jetty. These are jetty rocks coming out. And you see the North Carolina line cuts right here. This is Sunset Beach. This is where me, Michelle, and Allie walked all the way down from Sunset Beach, crossed over back into South Carolina, and we actually walked out onto the jetty. You can actually walk out on those big boulders. This is the South Jetty because this leads into North Myrtle Beach, this part right down here to the left. But this is the North Jetty. This is where Christian was at. See this elbow right here? That's approximately where Tyler let Christian out onto the jetty. I had somebody in Tyler's group ask me if I had the exact coordinates where Christian was let out onto the jetty. I don't have the exact coordinates, but I can take you there. I've been out there multiple times. And if you see this little elbow right there,
Yep.
That's where Christian was let out, at this little elbow of the jetty. And all these places that you see, this is where Deacon went on that boat tracking Tyler. And you know what? a lot of Tyler's boating was out in this area, actually up here. And they had Deacon way out here in the water.
That is because that's where Ronnie Floyd told them to go.
I know. And here you can see
that, isn't that when he pulled, somebody had went out and said, yeah, go ahead and take them back out or something. And Ronnie Floyd came flying up in a truck. I think it was Shay that talked about that. Yeah. And said, no, they better not, and started cursing at people and everything else.
Yes. They wanted them to take the dog back out, and Ronnie Floyd did not want them to do it.
Nope. He pulled up real quick. And
you can see here, this right here, where I told you that we walked all the way down, look how far it is. I mean, this doesn't look like it's very far, but here's Sunset Beach. It's about almost 2.5, 3 miles that you have to walk once you get to the very last pier to walk all the way down to this jetty. But the truth is, you can walk right off these jetty rocks all the way up this beach, even in high tide. Yes, it's about a 3-mile walk to get to the houses up here in Sunset Beach, but you can certainly walk off that jetty. Christian made it sound like he was trapped and he couldn't get off the jetty, but you can walk off that jetty, even in high tide. And see, they took Deacon all the way back out here, all along Sunset Beach, tracking the coordinates to see if they could pick up anything. Let him sniff the air, let him taste the water. That's how they do it. See, here's some more coordinates right here. There's a rock reef right here. See if they could track him on the shore to the Intercoastal Waterway here on Ocean Isle Beach. Ocean Isle Beach is right beside Sunset Beach. I mean, Diane took this dog all around. And I really feel like they did an excellent job. They did everything that they could. But I do want to show y'all a quick video. Hang on one second. I'm going to pull it up. Let me go over here and find it. There's a guy, his channel is in the description, and his name is Dave's Drones. Please go over there and subscribe to his channel, if you would. He has done a lot of drone work, and he actually did a lot of unedited drone search footage in Tyler's case. And I really enjoyed just him giving a purview from the drone. From that standpoint, looking over Bird Island, looking over the jetty. And I feel like that it would be really good for you guys to take a look at the video so that you could have a view from the sky to actually see what that jetty looks like. So again, this is all credit to Dave's Drones. Dave only has 360 subscribers. But he took several drone videos during Tyler's case. And I just wanted to share that with you because for anybody who's new to this case that doesn't live down on the coast like I do, I mean, I've been out to the jetty. I mean, I've lived here for 30 years, y'all. I mean, this is my home. But there's a lot of people that aren't familiar with the ocean, with the currents, with even what a jetty is. Chico says, Dutch, is any of the people involved with this connected to DNR? Did any of them have a personal relationship with law enforcement? AJ?
Sorry, I had to unmute. So here's my answer to that. Hail to the yeah. Because ain't no way that this man, Ronnie Floyd, only met Christian that first day for one time, or not even the first day because DNR didn't show up. So that would have been the second day. And yet he had him saved in his phone under the word Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Not Christian Holden, not Christian from the Jetty, not Christian/Tyler, just Christian.
Facts. Thank you, Chico, for sharing his link. And thank you for your question, because it really does matter. Sometimes we have this thing in South Carolina, we call it the old boys club, the good old boys. It's about who you know that can do you a favor. You know, we've talked about that before in Scott Spivey's case too, because Weldon Boyd tried to use that to his advantage. Don't think that it doesn't happen. It happens more often than you think. You know, hey, I know something about you, and if you don't want it to get out, I need you to look the other way, or you owe me a favor. Or some people can, I mean, it's a commodity. People can be bought and sold. It's one of the unfortunate things.
And then when they start to get caught, they go and file a lawsuit against the attorney that's already suing them.
And AJ did just drop the link. If you want to view the phone logs for yourself, the link is in the chat. Thank you, AJ, for dropping that. So if y'all can go over and just give this a view for Mr. Dave's drones. And I'm going to play you this video, and let's take a look at the Jetty. AJ, feel free to stop me anytime. Now that is the Jetty right here. Can you guys see that? Those are rocks. And let me tell you, it took years to build that with big cranes. I mean, we're not talking about little bitty rocks. We're talking about huge boulders. That's what separates the ocean from the intercoastal waterway right here.
Now I'm confused. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So wait. Okay, now I'm confused. So this one is because that looks like land. That could be a wave.
Yeah, look how big that is. See, that's at high tide too.
Yeah, this is why I will never stick my big. If I can't see the bottom, I don't stick my big toe in it. It's not happening.
This right here would be the video that you see me standing on the rocks when I'm talking in part. I think I played that in part 3, where I'm standing on the rocks talking to Shay and her husband.
Right.
I'm standing on top of these rocks. And look how you can stand on these rocks, guys. Think about Christian Holden. He's down here at this elbow. Now, if you're standing right here, this is the Atlantic Ocean. This is the waterway. This is Bird Island Beach right here. This is the South Jetty.
And that's what I was about to say. It looks like on this video that I don't know if y'all call it foggy or muggy or what you call it. But I know on that day that he went missing, it was clear. The sun was out, like it was clear.
But listen to me, AJ. It's not even clear. Can you see to the South Jetty?
Absolutely. Especially
can you see in the Atlantic Ocean? If you're standing down here, would you be able to see Tyler's boat right here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No doubt.
I just wanted to check. Look, there's a boat coming in the waterway.
And this right here is all see, there's people right there.
You see how big those rocks are?
Be rescued?
Look how little those people are in comparison. That's how big those rocks are. Let me take it back. There's the rocks. And there's the people. Y'all see what I'm saying? The Jetty is not little. It's humongous. These are giant 1,000-pound boulders. Okay.
Thank you, Sasha, because that's exactly what I was thinking. He could have walked, but no, he chose to actually get in the water. And the reason, let me tell you, and this part right here is just opinion. We know for a fact that Todd Brown had to have been in that water due to his own timeline, if we believe what he says. So, in my opinion, I think Todd was supposed to rescue Christian. And I think the other boat got there first. And so he didn't have a choice but to go into the water because that's what they told him to do. They put a swimmer into the water who went to the rocks to get him. He couldn't say, oh, I'm waiting for somebody. But I think he did say he was waiting for somebody.
Y'all see how big that jetty is? You got the intercoastal over here. You got the ocean. See how the ocean's got rougher waves? Like, if you're not careful, you'll crash right into that jetty. That's what happened to me in my boating accident. we hit the rocks. This ain't something that's small, y'all. These are huge boulders that took years to build.
And
they had to
that's
get
why
cranes.
I believe that his phone could have been stuck in between any of them with the SIM card removed, or like the person in the chat said earlier, trying to find a phone. Like, it makes no sense.
And see, even Dave points out the channel side still calm, ocean side still rough. This is February the 10th of 2023. Near the end of the jetty, the channel side starts to get rougher. Yeah, because when you're
also
getting
seeing on that Live 360, one of the pings comes so close to those rocks. I'm assuming that it's going to be probably on the edge of where it starts turning white. I don't know what y'all call that, but yeah, it was so close. He could have hopped off that boat and hopped onto the rocks.
But do you see how he could have walked off that jetty?
Yep.
Now, see, we're going out in the ocean, but notice how the channel side's getting rough too. Oh, look, there's a part and there's the end, and there's the channel marker. That was the one thing that Chad went out there to ride to see if there was a camera on the channel marker, because that would have been very helpful. And there is no camera out there.
That he said that he can't see him anymore. And Ronnie Floyd drew that damn boat drawing with a picture of Tyler standing on it, waving as if he was in a damn parade.
I know.
Oh.
Let's see. I think I've got another one that I want to play. All right, let's see. Let me get back over here and share my screen. I'm trying to just share one screen at a time so you won't echo. This is unedited drone footage from February the 10th, and this is Bird Island search for Tyler. So, we had people out there, like I said, flying drones to try to, see if there was anything that could be seen out there. You know what I mean? Because you just never know what might be out there. Is it not going to let me enlarge this video? Maybe not. No. But see all these little marsh areas that are in there? There we go. See if we can get that.
Which completely would not add up with Christian's statement when he says to the 911 operator, he was going out, he was being pulled out into the ocean.
Yeah.
But yet this was another area that Ronnie Floyd didn't really want searched.
I know. My husband and I, we walked Sunset Beach. Me and Brian and my husband went to Ocean Isle Beach. We searched the waterway there. We searched under the bridge. We went back into the jetties up there with Brian. We walked Bird Island 2 or 3 times.
And this is not, this could have happened for any reason, but I still just find it so weird because Bird Island does have cameras. But yet none of the cameras were online that day. None of them.
I know. Okay. Let's look at this one. This is another unedited search. And again, this is over Bird Island. And look, you can see, look at all these little areas. Because that was one of the main things, is you need to have search people that are out there looking in all of these places. Like, what if he wasn't in the water? What if something happened and he's out here in all of these marshes or in all this wooded area where nobody goes? Nope, Ronnie Floyd
Well,
didn't want
some of
anybody
that
out there
from what
searching.
Shay was telling me, and I think it's the same thing, and forgive me if I'm wrong because you all know I live in the desert, but some of that area, some of the marsh area you can't go up onto, I guess.
Hey, Barbara. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here.
What
Welcome
did
in,
Ninja say?
anybody.
I'm a drunk.
If you're just now joining, we're covering part 4 of Tyler Doyle's case. We're looking at some drone footage from Dave's Drones. His link is in the description. I think Chico also dropped it in the chat. But these were February the 10th, flying the areas, getting data to see if, you know, they could spot Tyler, if they could see anything out of the ordinary. But look at the vastness, y'all. I mean, it's just water and marsh. And this is off the waterway. This is where a lot of the duck hunters hunt, is back in these areas, not out on the jetty. Hey, Paula. Hey, Hoosier Hippie Denise. Hey, Clue. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. I just think looking at some of this drone footage, it's very important because it helps people. Like I said, this one is the best one. In looking, let me see if I can enlarge this again. When I do it on that one screen, it does not want to let me do it. But when we look at the jetty, like if you're not out here from, you know, from an area where you live by the ocean like I do, like there is the North Carolina side. You can see right here. Let me go back a little bit. This is the North Jetty that Tyler let Christian out on. This is the entrance where boats come in from the ocean into the waterway. My house is on the waterway. I'm about 3 miles up. Tyler left the boat landing behind my house supposedly that day. His truck was parked out at the boat landing that day. So when Tyler came down into the waterway, he would have let Christian off right at this elbow right here. And Christian said, I can't see Tyler. I can't see Tyler. Here's the Atlantic Ocean.
I'm glad you showed this picture because I got a question. Because again, I live in the desert, and maybe it's just me and my way of thinking. But let's talk about Barry, or what's his name? Yeah, Barry Hayes.
Oh yeah,
So,
the boater who was just out cruising with his in-laws.
But here's the thing: his dock backs up to his backyard. He was going out on a cruise, so he would have been coming out the opposite way that you see that boat right there.
Yes, he would have been coming from back this way.
Correct, going towards the ocean. But then all of a sudden, it was too rough for them to go out and look for Tyler. So what the hell was you going out there for in the first damn place for? I am so confused.
That's a good question. I wish I had the answer to that. And here you can see the left. This is the Atlantic Ocean side. You see how much rougher it is than on the intercoastal waterway side. Notice that these are huge 1,000-pound boulders. That's how big this is. And I think we might have missed it back up here, but you can see, well, I didn't go back far enough, but see these people right here on the beach, y'all? Y'all see them people? See how little those people are? Look how big the jetty is. Look how little the people are. Like, this jetty is big. And Christian said he was trapped on the jetty. He needed to be rescued. I have walked on that jetty and walked all the way 3 miles up to Sunset Beach. I can't tell you how many times. It is a hell of a workout. And that's Bird Island where those people are walking. But you can see how big this is. And again, that's the intercoastal waterway on the right. And that jetty separates the ocean from the intercoastal waterway. We have barges shrimp boats, like if you're going out into the ocean, you go down the waterway. So they would have had to come down the waterway to actually get out into the ocean, yes. And it's very rough. That's a very rough area, and the rip currents are very dangerous out there. So, Cluminati says, I'm sorry, but a shrimp bed isn't of more value than a life or closure to the family of that life lost. Absolutely. And that's why Danny Jewell telling his story was so very important. And he is a well-respected person in this community. And they have such good food at their restaurant, Hurricane Jules. If you ever come down here to Little River where I live, Danny's my neighbor. He lives up the street, and his family runs Hurricane Jules up on Mineola Avenue, right on the waterway. It's a beautiful view. They have excellent food. Fourth generation fisherman. And listen, he was just trying to bring the family closure. And South Carolina DNR wanted to threaten him. It's all the things about this case that doesn't make any sense. And it just pees me off. But you can see how big that jetty is. Now, the further you get out, you can see the water's getting rougher on the right. That's still in the intercoastal waterway, but the waterway is getting deeper, and that jetty's getting smaller because right here, the jetty comes to an end right out in front of that channel marker, and that channel marker does not have a camera on it, and Tyler's boat was found just out beyond that. And it's high tide because that is pretty much underwater. So I appreciate Dave's drones keeping that footage available on his channel. You can find that link to his channel in the description of this video. He has some other videos on his channel with some different drone footage of Bird Island, Sunset Beach, around that area. Y'all go sub up, give him some subs. He's only got 300 subscribers over there on his channel, but you know, when we're talking about cases like this, it's really important because I can go back and reference that. And when hubby and I were looking at some things a couple days ago, he was like, what about that drone guy? And then I had to look it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I almost forgot about Dave's drones. I need to make sure to play that video because it gives a really good purview of what the jetty actually looks like from the air for people that are not very familiar with, you know, what it's like living here on the water. So please continue to share Tyler's information out because his family really needs to get answers in his case. It's just very critical. Let me see. I've got something real quick. Oh, no, there I am. Hang on a second. I'm going to pull something up here. And let me share my screen here real quick. This is a missing flyer that I made for Tyler. See if I can enlarge this. This is on my Facebook if you guys follow me on Facebook. Missing in South Carolina. Tyler Wilson Doyle missing from Little River Inlet, South Carolina since January the 26th of 2023. Tyler was 22 years old when he went missing. He has blue eyes and brown hair. He is a white male, 5 feet 10 inches tall, 220 pounds. His clothing description, he had on tan khaki pants, white t-shirt, camouflage float coat, gray socks, and off-white Hey Dude rubber boots. He also had on a beanie. Tyler was duck hunting at the mouth of the Intercoastal Waterway in the Atlantic Ocean in Little River, South Carolina by the Jetty Rocks. It's unknown if Tyler was actually wearing a life jacket. Only one witness knows what occurred, and he did not help search. The Doyle family did not get the help needed from South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Tyler's boat, waders, wallets, and decoys were recovered in the Atlantic Ocean, and he has not been seen since. SLED is actively investigating Tyler's disappearance. If you have any information, please don't call Ronnie Floyd in the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Call SLED at 803-896-0281, or you can email them at tips@sled.sc.gov. And remember, if you see something, say something, because this case is so very important, and his family deserves to have answers. And we are going to keep talking about this case until they get answers. Here's a picture of me with Shay and Miss Linda and Brian when we gathered together to celebrate Tyler's birthday. They are wonderful people. And Miss Linda and Brian and Shay are heartbroken that they still do not have answers. SLED took on the case in November of 2023. I look like a baby. Well, thank you. I was told by a creator that I look 60 years old, so I appreciate that.
Let people stop lying to you.
Well, that's what BJ said. She said I look 60 years old and I was old and haggard. I'm just saying.
Okay, don't get. let me repeat this one more time. I can be a devil. I try to be. I don't always do things right, but I do it for the right reasons. Please do not come for Dutchess, because I'm petty. And I like to do petty stuff when you mess with people that you have no business to be messing with. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm petty.
Y'all better watch out. Hey, Terry. It's so good to see you, darling. Hey, Miss W. Hey, Feisty Nan. It's good to see y'all. Here's another picture of me and Brian and Shay with Tyler's race car. Brian went and drove the race car at Lakeview Motor Speedway, and me and hubby took my Doberman Petra out there for that race, and we went out there to support. And I know Brian's been trying to get Tyler's car back on the track to keep, to keep his name alive. I know his daddy really misses him a whole lot. And of course, here we are at the racetrack, the whole family, and there's me in the middle with Shay and Brian, Miss Linda, and they gave this beautiful plaque in honor of Tyler at the race, which I thought was so kind. And I love that plaque is so beautiful.
And it is. And I thought it was so kind too, but I just thought it was damn evil that Christian Holden had the audacity to go sit right behind them and not even say, hey, sorry.
Me and Shay and the Duke were sitting there, and she said, you are never going to believe who is sitting at 3 bleachers behind us to your left. She goes, but don't turn around and look. And of course, my husband stands up and looks.
I mean, am I wrong, you guys?
And it was Christian.
My mama would have drugged me by my ears to that phone. If I was to see somebody's child, my mama would have drugged me by my ears, and God forbid if I would have said no. And the same thing for my son.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious? You're not going to get on the phone? You're not going to see these people at a racetrack and not acknowledge them? Hell no.
Yeah. This family deserves to have answers. And I do appreciate each and every one of you for joining me. We've been here for a couple of hours. And AJ, you can get with me. If we have more that we need to go over and talk about, we'll have a part 5. And I will have that live up and running and let you guys know when that's going to be. It'll probably be next Sunday. If I don't have to go back to my mama's, I do have to go back and take her to a couple of appointments. But we may still have some more things that we need to show you and talk about. So AJ and I are going to discuss it. But I do appreciate
discuss getting one done for Scott Spivey again too.
Yes, I believe that we are going to probably you can let me know what day's best for you. We can do it tomorrow or Thursday, but there is a new update in Scott Spivey's case, and we want to have a short live stream to tell you what's going on in Scott's case. So if AJ, if you're free tomorrow, are you free tomorrow?
I am. Yep.
Okay, well, we can meet back here again at 8:00 and we can talk more about Scott Spivey's case, because we have some things we need to tell y'all, and I don't want to spoil it because I think it's incredibly crazy.
It's crazy. It's taking everything in me, but I'm gonna leave it be until the next one.
Callie, thank you for the $2.99. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And Pistol Amy, thank you for gifting a membership. Jen K, welcome to the Dutch Bus Squad. We're so glad to have you. I just want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate you guys supporting. Thank you, moderators, for being here. Hey, Elizabeth. I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate the members and subscribers. This is what keeps the channel going, because, listen, I don't go live every single day, y'all. This don't pay my bills. I come here to talk about the important things, and then I log off and I go live my real life. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome, AJ. And listen, I'll see y'all back here tomorrow at 8:00, and we're going to talk a little bit about Scott Spivey's case, because me and AJ have some updates in that case that we need to tell y'all about, so you do not want to miss it. So I'll get that stream set up when I get off here, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. But I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. And don't forget.
Oh, wait, real fast. Duchess, I wanted to ask you about your friend, the one that we prayed for last time when we were logging off.
I think he's doing better. I think he's still at the hospital. And that was Matt, White Boy Lockdown Radio. I have not heard a recent update, but I think he is still in the hospital and getting better. So I'm going to have to message his wife and check in, but I will try to have an update for everybody tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds
good. Night,
good.
Everybody.
Thank you for being here, AJ. I appreciate y'all give AJ tell her we appreciate her so much. I couldn't do this without her. She's amazing. She runs Tyler Doyle's Discovering the Truth Facebook group. If you guys are interested in that, the link is in the description of this video to join that private group. And again, I do appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. Bye, y'all.